Hello, welcome to today's video. Happy Thursday, everybody. So today, since we finished House of Dragons, I did want to see, and I couldn't think of the name last week, which is why I didn't mention it, but I do want to react to the honest trailers of House of Dragons and see what they're about from Screen Junkies. So we're going to watch those today. And then, thanks to Gerardero, I'm probably saying that wrong, Gerardero. I don't know why I can't say that word. But they were suggesting that I check out some breakdowns by David Lightbringer about details of the seasons. So we're going to check those out as well next week. This week, I just want to see the honest trailers. I haven't watched them yet, and I'm excited to watch them. So I want to watch those first, but then we'll check out more breakdowns. I did enjoy the honest trailers about Game of Thrones. I like honest trailers. I'm not subscribed to them, but I do try and watch some of them once in a while. So I did want to watch those today. And then obviously we'll be watching more House of Dragons when the new season comes out in 2026. But that's, a year and a half. It's still a ways away before we get to do that. But yeah, for today, let's check out honest trailers. We'll start with honest trailer House of Dragon, and then they've got one for season 2 as well.
This episode is presented by Ardbeg Isla Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. Discover Planet Ardbeg today. From the channel behind the prestige TV you stay up to watch as an adult, and the pre-internet porn you stayed up to watch as a kid, comes HBO's return to the Westeros in search of an heir to Game of Thrones. Because every other true-born son of their parent company is dead. House of the Dragon. Remember Daenerys? Girls named Khaleesi sure do. Turns out she and her brother weren't the only...
What was this article? Khaleesi was the 755th most popular name for a baby girl last year. People named their daughters Khaleesi after her. That's hilarious. I mean, it's not a bad name, but that's funny. That's funny. That's too funny. I had no idea about that.
Turns out she and her brother weren't the only nuts in the Targaryen family tree. As you revisit a civil war between rival factions of goth albino sociopaths that only goes down because so many Targs are named Aegon.
Aegon, the prince that was promised. You are the one.
Then choose a side to root for, even though the only thing these extremely out-of-touch rich people have in common with their extremely poor subjects is inbreeding.
Hey Raymond, come out and look. This one's got a funny eye like you.
Meet a whole new tome's worth of characters trying to satisfy their raging throners. Like Prince Daemon, a fully armed and operational Joffrey.
If you're accusing me of some depravity, you'll need to be more specific.
Watch Matt Smith continue the hot streak he's been on since Morbin time. As this homicidal narcissist with a limp noodle that the internet has a crush on anyway. Are you okay, internet? Viserys, a stellar performance by Paddy Constantine as a king succumbing to parts falling off disease.
My own face is no longer a handsome one.
Who just wants to hang out in his room and play with his artisanal minifigs all day. He'll declare his daughter Rhaenyra as heir, a girl who looks like she just found out she isn't getting a pony, who gets hardened, sharpened, and aged about 20 years when her bestie becomes her stepmom. Rhaenyra must fight for women's rights over the women's wrongs of Alicent Hightower. She's sad.
He is your son, Viserys. Your blood. His last words to me, and I was the only one to hear it.
It is funny how accurate some parts of this is. I forgot about the whole Daemon not being able to get it up thing. I guess that's not something that really was stuck in my head, thankfully. But yeah, I remember obviously the character swaps and all that. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they didn't do that till... No, I guess they did that in season 1, didn't they? There's only been 2 seasons, so... Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Yeah, I do like honest trailers. I think they're pretty accurate sometimes.
Then there's supporting players like Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King, and the King of the passive-aggressive remark,
Perhaps there's some better use for the princess's talents, Your Grace.
Kristen Cole, a hardened combat veteran, yet still the most fragile white knight in the land.
Spoiled.
The Valerians, an ancient family who bring much-needed diversity to people in ridiculous white wigs. And lurking, ever lurking, is Laris Strong, who's like Littlefinger if he were more into little piggies instead. Wee, 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 wee! If you thought MTV's lineup was full of hard-to-watch pregnancies, strap in for a show that's more comfortable with dead moms and stillbirths than a red state legislature, where the showrunner had to explicitly promise to tone it down this time. And though their female characters go through hell, at least they all
What
have
does it
evil. And though the had to
Will not decapit explicit sexual violence. Explicit sexual violence. Huh.
explicitly promised to tone it down this time. And though their female characters go through hell, at least they all have easy access to Plan T.
It will rid you of any unwanted consequences.
It's best to be certain.
So return to Westeros hundreds of years before winter came all over it. But don't worry, the Baratheons are still dumb.
Where's the bloody maester?
The Starks are still loyal.
There has never lived a Stark who forgot an oath.
Lannister's smug. Targaryen's cuckoo. The episode's directed by Miguel Sapochnik, impossible to see. And now, more than ever, the dragon's enormous ex machinas that keep surprising people despite being as big and loud as a 747. There we go. That's the writing quality we got used to. Starting to feel like old times again.
Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Starring the Leprechaun, Matt Damon. You're an uncle lover. Yes, it's true. Nobody loves uncles quite like you.
Wow.
It's not easy being green. The Queen who never gassed. The Dread Pirate Corlys. King Louis of CK. You'll pay for this, Potter. Hollywood's worst Chris. Prince Eric. That's what I do. I lurk and I tow things. The Lion creeps tonight. Lucerys looking like a snack.
It's just wow. Just wow to all of this. It's just wow. Oh, too funny. Too funny. Oh my goodness. Just wow. I don't know who I wonder who these writers are, you know? Like who comes up with this stuff?
Meeting balls. I wonder what those are for. Oh, a human spoiler alert.
Beware the beast beneath the boards.
Immortan Joe's Crab Shack. And calling someone a without really saying it.
Sooner or later, you may get one who looks like you.
He doesn't know, does he?
Or strong. Does your brother mention if this one also bears a marked but entirely coincidental resemblance to the commander of the City Watch?
He is Laenor's son. What grounds could there be
What
for...
indeed, Lord Beesbury?
What? Indeed.
Come on, you know you want to say it.
Her children.
Ooh, you said it. You were in so much trouble. Regally Blonde.
Aegon foresaw the end of the world of men. 'Tis to begin with a terrible winter. And if the world of men is to survive, a Targaryen must be seated on the Iron Throne.
Actually, all you really need is a Stark with two working hands. So which show's off to a better start? Game of Thrones or The Hot D? We counted up every kill, lie, and boob in the first season to see who takes the crown in a brand new episode of By the Numbers. Click the thumbnail on the right to watch now. This
By the
episode
Numbers
was presented by Ardbeg Island.
That actually sounds kind of good. By the Numbers. I might have to check that out on my own. But yeah, there you go. That's Screen Junkie's honest trailers for House of the Dragon. I'm going to check out Season 2 as well. And then we'll wrap things up here. But yeah, I mean, they do really good work. So definitely want to check their channel out if you haven't seen them before. They're funny, but some of them super honest too, you know? I mean, hell, honest trailers.
waited 2 years for the final season of Game of Thrones, 3 years for the spin-off, and you're still waiting for Martin to quit farting around with the books.
Stop wasting your life waiting for something that'll never come.
Now, 2 years after season 1, HBO's delivering all the dragon-filled battles of yore. Next season, which is 2 years from now.
Do simply what is needed of you. Nothing.
You gotta be kidding me.
We must now favor patience and restraint.
House of the Dragon, Season 1.5. You've heard of filler episodes. Now prepare for an entire filler season.
Do nothing now.
As we've gone from the last finale, where battle lines were drawn and war was on the horizon, to this season's finale, where battle lines were drawn and war is on the horizon. In 8 episodes about...
It's funny when you put it that way. I didn't think the season was all just a filler season. I mean, I thought there were some good aspects and good parts to it. It does, they're making good points here, so I can understand why people felt that way. It is interesting how long it's taking to get to the war. I mean, we had a battle or two already. I mean, we only really got to see the one, but yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was a filler season. I was like, I felt like they could have gone 10 episodes instead of just the 8. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure in some cases they could have done a better job, but overall I enjoyed it.
About gathering allies.
I pledge fealty to Rhaenyra of House Targaryen.
Raising armies.
To the gullet on the morrow!
Yeah, my king will be well pleased to friendship.
And really just any part of war that doesn't require showing it on camera.
An enemy host growing in constitution marches somewhere.
All because at David Zaslav's HBO, even their biggest hits aren't safe from the accountant's blade. Brace yourselves. Tax season is coming.
The House of Dragons finale was like that because of budget reasons? Really? That's unfortunate. I mean, at least they didn't just cancel the show because of budget reasons, at least not yet. I'd be pretty upset if they cancel season 3 for budget reasons. You know what I mean? Like that would be pretty depressing. That'd be pretty upsetting. I mean, you got to at least have an ending, because season 2 they left everything on a cliffhanger. Like they didn't come to the, there was no ending for any of it.
Revisit the family feud that erupted because no one can tell the Targaryens apart.
Aegon.
Alysanne.
The prince that was promised.
That gets even worse because, again, no one can tell this Matrix twin-ass looking family apart.
They both look the same. Which one's a boy?
The Green stand accused of taking black jobs.
They usurped my throne.
As Alicent Hightower and her beloved sons.
Do you think simply wearing the crown imbues you with wisdom?
Capable sons.
You have the impetuousness of youth and its arrogance.
Existing sons?
My son Daeron. What's he like?
Usurp Queen Rhaenyra's throne, which was hers because Daddy said so, okay?
I'm usurping my rightful inheritance.
Look, I know it's tempting to pick a side, but please don't. These girls are both dicks, and everyone else suffers for it. While our two queens leave each other on read, catch up with old favorites like Prince Daemon, who wanders through a season-long Halloween special.
Yeah.
Spending 7 episodes in a haunted house, even though the scariest thing is that no one there takes him seriously.
I'm claiming Harrenhal.
Apparently so.
It does seem to me that you've made rather a mess here.
It's a touch late to be stalking about a strange castle putting its people to the sword.
Aegon II, whose first move is to turn King's Landing into New York City.
Who are they?
Ratcatchers. Nothing is clean here.
And ends with him turning into peel and eat shrimp.
My is destroyed. It burst into flames like a sausage on a spit.
Yummy!
Then there's Christian Cole, who's either down in the dumps.
To die will be a kind of relief.
Anything.
Or down on the Queen, Helena, cursed to live in a world biased against women and introverts.
When the people share our grief, they draw closer to us.
I don't want them closer. I was happier before I was queen. This one stopped singing.
Aemond, who makes up for his one eye with his third leg.
Your squire is welcome to her.
Otto Hightower, a much-needed source of reaction face on the High Council.
Gods help us all.
Larys Strong, who I guess had his fill of little piggies, but now craves being the hand.
You would wish to be viewed differently. Otto Hightower was your father's and your great.
All while putting Tyrion's best lines through ChatGPT.
They will underestimate you. And this will be your advantage.
Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you.
The Sea Snake, who apparently was a real snakesman in his youth.
Brother, he owes you. He owes us.
But still a real Grey Dong in his old age. Tywin Lannister, who goes on a side quest to Essos, where they do things a little differently.
I want you to my wives.
And finally, rounding out the cast, are more than Nick Cannon's Christmas list.
There are 80 of their progeny at least.
Do you believe that you are the first noble heir who was not sired by his noble father?
I never knew my father.
You are saying you're a Targaryen?
Do you know what it was like for us? To be sneered upon as
Let us raise an army of
Once you get to know me, you'll find
I
out.
beep out a lot. I mean, I know YouTube. I mean, you can play stuff, but I guess if you want to get recommended and stuff, you gotta bleep out a lot. But it's kind of obnoxious. I get tired of some other videos I watch just on my own, like political commentators. They'll bleep out a bunch of words and stuff, and it's like it's just annoying. I mean, it's either super obvious, like you know exactly what they're saying, or you're not sure what they're saying, so then the whole video doesn't make any sense. So it's super annoying. I understand it's YouTube and they're trying to be family friendly and all that. At least statistically on my YouTube statistics, I don't really have any children that watch my content. I mean, the 13 to 17 year olds, 0% viewers. I don't even have any 18 to 24 year olds. Now, of course, you could have lied on, the YouTube, so maybe there are some children out there, and I'm not trying to be a creep or anything, but I don't really post content for children necessarily. Like, I'm not doing like children's movies or, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my rant on the beeping. I get it. It's YouTube, Google, they want to be family friendly, but sometimes I think it's excessive, even considering that.
Not so bad.
Had enough of these posh toffs? This season, it's all about the small folk.
When princes lose their temper, it is often others who suffer. The small folk.
I know the struggles of the small folk of King's Landing.
Our victory depends on the efforts of the small folk.
Shall your evening meal be served here, Your Grace?
Not now.
Oh, right. And also, the dragons. They're the Westeros equivalent of nukes, which seems to make all the gathering army stuff irrelevant, no?
We cannot take on Vhagar alone. And I have no army.
Dragons. Send them all out and burn those who resist.
No, fear of it is in itself a weapon.
Still, training them is a lot harder than DreamWorks makes it look.
Odin, help us.
As Rhaenyra turns waves of potential riders into Dragon Chow. Until they finally stumble upon a couple of literal tough because even a dragon's got to respect a man who eats 30 quail in a sitting.
He ate so many quail.
It was over 30. 30 quails.
I said more of these little birds.
The Hound would be so proud.
I'm gonna have to eat every chicken in this room.
So after season 1 restored your faith in this franchise, try to subsist on meager crumbs for a few years longer.
Where's our meat? We want meat.
In a season that's mostly about shuffling the pieces around the board.
Rosby and Stokeworth.
Small castles right in the shadow of King's Landing.
We'll have Dragonstone effectively cut off by land.
Have him turn about. I want Harrenhal back.
Our largest dragon has been killed.
You are not the player, but a piece on the board.
Royals hemming and hawing over what to do.
What would you have me do?
What would you have me do, Mother?
What else would you have me do?
And yes, one fairly sweet mid-season battle sequence.
Yeah.
In this high fantasy metaphor for...
Yeah, that was a sweet battle sequence for sure. For sure. That was good. Yeah, I don't know. As far as this honest trailers, I feel like this one's kind of lame. It's not as good as some of their other ones. The bleeping's annoying. But you know, I think that's more of a YouTube thing other than a Screen Junkie thing. You know, they've got almost 7 million subscribers, so I'm sure they're trying to be cautious and safe when it comes to getting shadow banned and all that.
All the streaming companies fighting for dominance, only to ruin TV in the process.
Strange victory. If it was one.
See, Netflix is the dragon, Peacock, Max, and Paramount are the guys running on the ground. Starring Damon, oh, fighter of the Aemond, oh, forever a throne. I'm not that Alicent. Boom, roasted. Alpha Kappa Kingsguard.
The blacksmith's armor in terms of equipment has only grown apace with Kristen's armor.
So you're sworn to chastity now?
Of course, Your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace.
One-Eyed Willie. Hot to Coal. Whiz Perverts. Raisin Gran. Reese the Juice.
You are the father.
Alan. Assassin's Creed Origins.
You truly are the most Targaryen in King's Landing.
Japes. Together. Strong. The Lion King's advisor. That's Mr. Fancy Pants to you.
Aegon the Magnanimous, second of his name.
The Magnanimous.
My prince.
Your Grace.
My prince. Your Grace.
Milady.
Princess, if we're holding to formalities.
Very well, Your Grace.
You should address me as my king.
Her representative, the prince.
King.
Idiot!
Beware how you speak to your king, my lord.
The king is my grandson, and my grandson is a fool.
Playing with balls.
But we...
Thank you. History and precedent will come to your side. The enemy without may be fought with swords, the enemy within.
There is nothing to be gained with fretfulness.
Our lords in the Crown Lands grousing.
And
I am the last one of 15.
House of the Dragzon.
Yeah.
Getting the Coen brothers to guest direct this episode was so the right choice.
Would that it was so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it was so simple.
Watch my mouth exactly as I'm about to. Would that it were so simple.
Would that it was so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it was so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it was so simple.
This was not one of their best episodes.
Who you callin' a cootie queen, you lint liquor.
This was not their best work. Their best honest trailer. Some parts were amusing for sure, you know. Some parts were funny, but it wasn't really laugh out loud kind of funny. I don't know. I felt like it dragged on, you know. I felt like this video dragged on. It was 10 minutes. Honest Dragon House of Dragon was 6 minutes. I thought that was much better. They did season 2 in 10 minutes instead, so. And it had 2 less episodes, so I don't know. Still funny. Still cool channel, Screen Junkies. Definitely worth checking them out. They've been around for a while, I think. Let me see. Yeah, they're Honest Game of Thrones. They've been doing, that was 10 years ago. That's their most popular video. Cool beans. So yeah, there you go. Honest trailers from Screen Junkies. Let me know what you guys think of them and what you want to see me react to next. Like I said, we talked about what we'll probably do next week, but we're still looking to change it up and do things here in the future. So hope everybody's doing well. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for being here. You guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.